You're watching WCSD Cable Television from Calloway County High School.
Hello, Calloway Countyans. Welcome to this month's edition of the Calloway County Sheriff's Report. Today I have our very own Sheriff Sam Steger, and we are going to be covering a broad topic of things this month. So, how have you been?
I've been doing very well. Glad to be here, and thanks for having me. Got a lot going on in Calloway County these days. So
I know, the weather's crazy and it's April.
yeah, snowing yesterday, 75 today. Just yeah, Mother Nature's crazy this week or this month. So usually by now we're seeing pretty good warm weather, and just hadn't seen it yet. So maybe it'll break through here in the next week or two. So
I sure hope so.
yeah.
Alrighty, let's get things started. So y'all have recently added a new piece of equipment to y'all's office.
We have. We have just bought what's called a drug terminator. And the reason why I want to tell the public about it is, as you can see there, kind of looks like a robot there. And what that does, it incinerates our drugs. And one thing I learned when I got involved with dealing with drugs and being the sheriff and overseeing everything was the safety of our evidence officers and what they were dealing with when they were trying to destroy our drugs. And then when we started taking on all of the prescription medicines that we take on, because we have the prescription drop off, that even became more of a problem. And then the EPA started cracking down on certain things like our landfills and our places that we tried to use to destroy all of our drugs and our prescription meds. And so I looked closely at the way we were doing it and having to do it, and basically what we were doing was taking a 55-gallon drum, and we would have to dump everything in there and burn that, which
That's
was
really
a health
bad to
hazard.
breathe in.
Absolutely, it was a health hazard not only for us but for everybody that was in the immediate area there. So we got to researching and found a company that actually makes an incinerator for drug evidence. And of course, I went to Judge Larry Elkins in the fiscal court, and they were just all over it immediately, without hesitation. Saw the issues of safety for us in it, so we bought that. So actually today we're going to be using it for the first time. We just got it last week, and about 1 o'clock today we're going to be using that. You can incinerate. There's no smoke there. There's no release of gas or
What
anything
all drugs
like that.
can you incinerate in it?
We put everything in it. All of our marijuana, our cocaine, our heroin, all of our prescription meds, we're going to try to incinerate those as well. And it basically will just be an ash when you're done. There's no hazards with it, health-wise.
And then what do y'all do with the ashes? Is there a special procedure for them?
I've got to research that, and like I say, the Mackenzie Timmons and Adam Doss, who are evidence officers, they're down there working on it today, and we're trying to figure out exactly all that. Pretty neat thing is that thing lights with just a fire, and then the air that circulates through it is what keeps that machine rolling, and where it incinerates whatever you put in it down to nothing. So we're looking forward to that. And again, I want to thank the Judge Elkins and the fiscal court for helping us out and getting that machine, because we were desperately needing it.
Absolutely. So whenever y'all find these drugs, you also come across a little bit of property that y'all have to possess, and
we do.
So would you like to talk about what y'all
Certainly.
are trying to do with that?
Yeah, we started a new program. We had used to, whenever we would have a drug seizure, we might take their car or find out that they bought TVs or guns or what have you with their drug money, that they were getting in from selling their drugs. So we confiscate all that.
Absolutely, because they don't tax it.
Because they don't need it. If they're going to buy it illegally, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to use their profit to benefit our county. So what we started doing was the first one we had like an auction for the public where we had an auctioneer come in, and we tried to sell the property that way, and we made some profit. But then we became aware of a place called GovDeals, which is govdeals.com, and you can go on to GovDeals. What we do is when we get surplus property, we get property forfeited to us through the court. Then we take pictures of it, we post it on there, and then we get a broader spectrum of people that can see that. People from anywhere can see that. And so since the first of the year, we've made about $23,000 off of our property that we've seized. And there again, most of it is drug seizures. Most of the things that we put on there are drug seizures. We've had a number of cars. People come from all over the United States. We had people from Georgia, South Carolina, maybe one up from Northeast that came down. They bought cars that we had on there that we had seized in drug raids.
Do y'all make the prices for things on there like much lower than like what they could?
And that's the benefit about going to those places is you can really get some good deals on good, which are still good quality stuff. TVs, we have a ton of tools, cars. I mean, just about anything you can think of at one time or another. We have seized and will show up on there, but you just got to keep your eye on it. You can go in there. Put a code in there for Calloway County, and see exactly what we all have listed up there. It's a very neat site. You can order it. We usually run our auctions on that for about 2 weeks, and once the 2 weeks is up, if you're the leading bidder, you get the item. Pay for it on GovDeals, I believe through a PayPal or something like that.
Yeah.
And come pick up your items.
Well, I know some online shopping places, kind of like eBay and stuff.
Certainly.
I'm not for sure about eBay, but I know like for sale in Murray, they don't allow you to sell weapons. Like when you seize these weapons, do you put them on that site?
We do not. We don't sell weapons on that site. When we seize weapons, they have, and that's a great question. When we seize weapons, they go to the Kentucky State Police.
Okay.
Because all the money, they sell the weapons. State Police sells the weapons, and all of that money that they have from the seizure of weapons and that sale goes to furnishing law enforcement officers all across the state with bulletproof vests, with more weapons, with tasers. So that all goes into a fund, and we all, like this vest that I'm wearing, all of the deputies got new vests when I took office. And all of those came off of that grant from the seizures of weapons across the state of Kentucky. So it's a pretty neat program. That
is pretty neat. Alrighty, so I guess we can go ahead and move on to our next topic, which would be motorcycles, bicycles, and farm equipment.
Sure.
And I don't know for sure if Callaway's doing it, but we might possibly have a senior drive your tractor to school day.
Yeah, I'd seen that one year. A couple years ago, I stopped into school for something, which I've never heard of that, but I thought it was an awesome idea. Pulled up there, and all the tractors were lined up along the back row there, and they said that, annually they had a drive your tractor to school day, which I thought was real neat. I come from a farming family, so I love to see the farm equipment and machinery. I totally understand. And I really like that. But what also is important right now is the farm machinery we're in crop time right now.
Oh yeah, it's a big part of our culture.
Absolutely, it is. Large part of the culture here. And right now our farmers are in the field. They're putting down anhydrous. They're planting corn, getting their fields ready. And won't be long. We'll be, combining wheat and stuff, planting beans. So farm machinery's hot and heavy on the roads right now, when Mother Nature allows us again. So please be mindful that that machinery is moving at a slow pace, and it doesn't take you but a second if you're driving down one of the main roads or even a small road to come up on that equipment real quick. Plus the width of the equipment. It's hard to get that equipment off the roadway. So you need to pull in a driveway if you're able to, or something like that, to help that farmer get around a little bit. It's a difficult job, and we rely on them for a lot in our community. So the other thing,
they probably hate being in our way just as much as we hate them being
absolutely,
in our way.
They do. They're not out there trying to be in our way, but they're just trying to move from field to field and get their job done. So please be mindful of them. And then of course, this time of the year, we see bicycles and motorcycles back on the road, and always when you pull up to that stop sign or that stoplight, always watch for that bicyclist or that motorcycle. That sometimes they're just hard to see because they're smaller, and a lot of times we don't think to stop just one more second and take that little extra look and that little extra time, because we're always in a hurry wherever we're going. and next thing you know, you've pulled out in front of one. And most of our motorcycle and bicycle wrecks are serious. You know, of course, I encourage the helmet use. I was not in favor of them retracting the helmet law, but I think that everyone riding a motorcycle or a bicycle needs a helmet on. So, but just be mindful of that out there.
Alrighty, and do you have anything you want to say to seniors who might possibly be driving their tractor to school this year?
Sure, yeah. If y'all do have your drive the tractor, school day, just be mindful of the width of your tractor. You know, there's a lot of traffic out in the mornings. Of course, everybody's trying to get to school. You know, you got to abide by all the traffic laws just like you would driving a car. That goes for a motorcycle and a bicycle as well. You know, bicyclists have the same regulations as far as traffic control goes as does a car. So bicyclists need to be, aware of that. They need to follow the same traffic laws as well.
Alrighty, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about Grand March and prom season.
15 miles an hour! Go!
Be tolerant of farm equipment on the road. After all, farmers are the ones who feed us.
Shannon's turning the same way as me! Go!
A message from the Calloway County Farm Bureau and the Calloway County FFA chapter.
With prom and Grand March and graduation and all that coming up soon, Sam Steger would like to share some advice with us.
Sure. The prom and graduation season is always an important time for our seniors, and I worry about this time of the year just for safety's sake of our kids being on the road. Those are two very popular nights for you to go out, get with friends, have a good time. I get that, but I also want to make sure that our kids are being responsible. I myself have two that are graduating, they're going to prom, so I do worry about that. But I just want the kids to be mindful of when you get to where you're going. If you do decide to go to a party or whatever, don't drink and drive.
Definitely.
And because that's not only dangerous to yourself, but you're endangering everybody else out there. And just be safe. I really don't have the words to explain how prom and graduation differ from the other events of the year, because it's such an exciting time. And to those seniors, you have spent this many years trying to get through, 12 years trying to get through high school and through school, period. Don't let it end in a catastrophe because you've made a last-second graduation night, just completed that portion of your life. Don't let it end in tragedy.
We have 24/7 hour cab service.
Absolutely. You have cab service. If you do decide to do something that really you shouldn't be doing, call an adult and make the right decision. That's the only thing I like to encourage them to do. Reality is it's going to happen, but reality also is that you can call an adult, somebody responsible.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to be forgiven.
That's exactly right. Yes. So graduation is a great time, and like I say, I'm looking forward to my kids graduating, and I know they're ready. You've got a life ahead of you, fixing to start college or a tech school, or just go out into the workforce. Some people just, school's not for them. They like to go get their feet going on the ground. And so prom and graduation, I believe prom's weekend after next, and then graduation, I believe, is May the 15th or 17th. So just be safe out there on those days. You can always call us at the Sheriff's Department if there's something you need, and we'll make sure that you're safe and getting where you need to be.
Alrighty, and we're going to end this with the Fugitive of the Month. His name is James Weatherford, and what can you tell tell us about him.
Correct. James Weatherford is our fugitive of the month. Mr. Weatherford is 24 years old. He's a white male, 5'7", 190 pounds, and Mr. Weatherford has absconded from probation parole.
Oh.
So we are looking for him for a probation violation. Mr. Weatherford's last known area was up in the Dexter, Hardin area of Calloway and Marshall County. So we're not sure where he's at right now, but if you do see Mr. Weatherford, you call your local law enforcement authority. You can call Crime Stoppers at 753-9500, and you'll be eligible for a cash reward. You can remain anonymous by that, and we encourage you to utilize that. You can check our Crime Stoppers page out at Facebook, on Facebook as well. We're all the time trying to post pictures of fugitives and crimes that we are trying to get solved on there. So it's a good way to make you a little money.
Yeah. Would you consider him to be dangerous to society?
I would not. I don't think James is dangerous. James just likes to run. So, but I don't consider him armed and dangerous.
And back to the drug terminator, could people bring their old prescription drugs to you to terminate if they think
They can bring all their prescription medicines down to my office. We have two drop-offs. They can come in the front door during business hours, drop them off in our medicine box, or at night they can come in our after-hours office door, and I've got another box there that they can drop that off of, and we'll take care of that.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this month, and it was good talking to you.
Thank you. You too.
And I will see you all next month.